check.
Right? So it's going all over the map where the city.
Oh, awesome. Thank you.
I can email you a copy of it, Mark.
Maybe later, yeah.
That's still coming out of state resident.
I think you're good, you're not.
Joe has been on that for 3 months.
Twice in 6, I believe. This is section 6.
No, I did not.
Been out there yet? No. A lot of your rat pack guys are not there.
My thing is just.
Doesn't smell.
We have 2 audits.
Maybe it's
Exactly.
Well, they got
I'm all for it.
something across the wall. Carts out there. People taking carts out there because it's pretty wet. So they probably just sand
Right here. I don't think he's gonna be here typing today, after all that. I'm gonna go.
tighten this up.
Yeah, here's the single. This is the one you just put up on the bulletin board.
Okay.
And then we have
Don't
two.
ask me how to do it.
That's more.
Hello, everybody.
I'll just wait.
Sorry.
I'll just put that and then we'll see.
All right, looks like it's 1:10. Welcome, everyone. We'll go ahead and convene regular session. Mark, you want to lead us in a pledge of allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, roll call.
Commissioner Askew,
Present.
Commissioner Porter,
Present.
Commissioner Solomon, here, Commissioner Clark,
Here.
and Commissioner Shaw.
Here.
Chairman Shaw.
Okay, matters initiated, general update of planning activities.
Roll call, please.
Please do roll call.
Yeah, so there's a few things I'd probably let Galen fill you in on Sigma and what's transpired since he's been running roughshod over the water issues up in Big Valley.
Thank you. Yes, we had a feedback meeting, a Big Valley Groundwater Advisory Committee meeting on February 27th. Also on February 27th, we got a letter back from the state saying the groundwater sustainability plan for Big Valley was approved. They had a number of recommendations, a total of corrective actions, of 7 corrective actions that they listed in the letter, but the recommendations, most of them are recommendations. They also reference update that has to happen. There's a 5-year update that's due January 27th, 2027. It's 5 years from the initial approval, not 5 years from the approval we just got. So even though we just got it approved, the 5-year
You gotta do
update.
it again.
The 5-year update is due.
2 more years.
Yeah, so we're working on that now, but, but at any rate, it was a big deal getting it, at least that far, getting it approved, and not having to go to the water board for probation or anything like that in terms of enforcement, so.
Good. So you're on the good side.
Whatever that It's a bittersweet approval, considering we didn't feel like we should be there in the first place. So, and it represents just a ton of work and money. It's been what, going on 4 years, 3 years that we've been working on this, and so it's one of those Monty Python. Everybody cheered, yay! So, and then now we're just moving on to the next thing that they're gonna
Right.
keep asking us for more and more. So.
Speaking of more, the annual report is due by April 1st. So the BVAC also recommended approval of the annual report for the 2024 water year. So that will go to the Board of Supervisors on March 18th is the plan, and then be submitted to WR by April 1st. But as part of this, we also have to do an annual report each year.
So even though we submitted a plan over a year ago that they did not approve and sent back to us, we've still been doing annual reports on a plan that wasn't approved. That's all I have for planning updates.
Okay, thank you. Any matters initiated by commissioners?
John, we got a notification from Anita that the Brown Act training session occurred, I think, in January. Are there any other Brown Act seminars or whatever coming up?
Not that I know of, but I can look into it for you. But that does remind me on, just going back to updates. So some of you are up for renewal or either gonna be replaced, whatever. So if you want to continue being a planning commissioner, you need to submit your applications.
Yeah, who might that be?
It would
I
be,
know, I think I'm one of them.
yeah,
I submitted
John,
mine today.
yeah, he did his today,
I
and
think it's
then,
the three of you, right?
yeah,
I submitted mine.
Oh, sorry, not you.
Carol.
I don't think that,
Yeah.
I gotta submit mine.
Okay, that's all I have. Sorry to interrupt.
No, I didn't take it. I mean, I don't know of any other commissioners, in the Brown Act seminar was like webinar or whatever.
Yeah, I wasn't able to attend, I was out of town, so, but I read through the PDF that they sent out, which was very informative.
And I can check with admin to see when the next class is, or if there's just a reoccurring online version of the class.
Carol?
I have a short list of questions. I'll try to make it really fast. Is this an appropriate time for me to ask?
Sure. This is,
I don't do social media, but people sometimes show me things or bring me things or tell me things and they expect me to know something and I don't. The Connex box is the $200 fee. Is that even going to be coming before this commission?
the $200 fee, is that what it is for a permit?
For a building permit, I think
No,
it's more than,
it's for the Connex boxes. I don't know. It's a county issue.
it's a building permit.
Is
It's more than $200 though.
For a Connex box?
For a building permit, for a cargo container,
Yeah.
it would be more than, it's more than $200. I don't know what the fee is.
Is that
Exactly.
new? Is
Yes.
that
That's
something
a
new?
fairly new requirement from the state that cargo containers get building permits.
Okay, is that gonna be coming before us at all?
No, it's building code requirement,
So it's a state mandate,
yeah.
Oh, well, that's
And that-
interesting. That's not at all what I heard. Go ahead.
and that just happened recently?
With the last cycle, they added provisions for cargo containers.
So if somebody wants to put a cargo container on their
If
project?
it's,
they're gonna
unless it's
pay
gonna be
for that?
temporary, well, there's a provision for it, there's a bulletin on our website, that, explains the requirements. I would say look at that, but if it's temporary, they could have it there.
And is it relative to the size of the container as to what the permit cost is?
No,
So what is the permit cost?
I couldn't quote exactly what it is, but it's more than $200. I wanna say it's $350, but I'm not positive.
Okay. I might get rid of some of them. Not that I have any issue with that.
Okay. Next question. The map that's floating around the internet, which I haven't even seen, showing the city annexing a whole bunch of county property. Is there anything about that you can tell us?
I can tell you that we're in the process of an area plan update. It has nothing to do with being annexed into the city, despite what is allegedly or apparently being said on the internet. That is either somebody that is not in control of the facts or is purposely misleading people, but there's no annexation proposed with the area plan update. It is just that it combines a couple of different areas and it includes Lake Forest as proposed right now. There's a meeting on the 11th in front of the Board of Supervisors to discuss the progress that's been made and to give them options. But again, it has nothing to do with annexation.
Okay, that's just what I wanted to know. And in case you missed it and just came in, the fee for the Connex box is a new state requirement. It doesn't have anything to do with the county,
We're
right?
obligated to enforce the building code, which the newest round of the building code specifically addresses cargo containers.
From the state?
Mhm.
Okay.
Can I ask a question?
No.
This is just for my curiosity. Fees that we collect, do they go back to the general fund or do they go into some sort of designated fund?
Fees that we collect.
The building permit fees go to the general fund and offsets the cost to run the department.
Right?
Building permit fees, so they're based on the time that it takes. So building permit fees and all fees for the department are at cost. They're not, you can't make money for a fee, but it can cover the staff time that's involved in doing the inspections, processing the permit, working at the counter, those sorts of things. So it goes to offset the cost of the staff time.
Do you know anything about assessing county property taxes? For instance, I asked the Elma guy if they pay county property taxes the way we do, or if they're exempt because they're Public Utilities Commission, and he felt like they were exempt because they were Public Utilities Commission. Is that correct?
I can't respond to that. That'd be an assessor question.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you don't know any assessor questions then, really?
Well, I'm not gonna try to answer assessor questions, no.
Okay. And I would like to have occasionally an update on some of these projects that we have voted to go forward to see if they actually made it. I was thinking like the Pizzolan, is that the concrete additive plant, Mark? Pizzolan?
You mean down in South County?
Yeah.
It's,
Is that the kitty litter?
kitty litter plant.
Okay, there's the kitty litter, then there was another one that was an additive for concrete. I was wondering if these projects made it to doing something.
No, that's absolutely okay. We can update you.
Yeah, because I'd like to see if there's still, some of these were stuck years trying to get through the process. And those type of projects, when they get up and running, don't they generate more tax base?
Would presume so.
Yeah. Well, somebody who's supposed to, who should know, she does know, she told me, she said that the fees that we collect are a drop in the bucket compared to the county property taxes that we collect. So it behooves us at every point to push these projects through, get them done, so that we start collecting county property taxes and not hinder anybody with any kind of excessive process or fees.
I'm not aware of any disapprovals this commission has set forward in the last 5 years.
No, I'm just talking about, we just need to make things easier. Easier, much easier. And like the city just waived their impact fees for the next 5 years, I believe. I'd like to see us get off the fees and get on the projects. That's all I have to say.
Thanks, Carol.
I have nothing to.
Jeff? I'm good too.
Okay, well now somebody wanted to speak.
Well, your correspondence.
Oh, correspondence, sorry.
And then
No correspondence
No.
at this time.
presentation by staff
There's no presentation by staff.
and the minutes.
Okay, so have we had a chance to look at the minutes from last meeting? Which was a couple years ago?
No, it's December.
A while back. If so, I'd entertain a motion to have them approved.
Make a motion that we accept the minutes of the December 3rd, 2024 meeting as presented.
Second?
Second?
We got a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
Which one of you seconded?
Two.
Okay, now is the time if there's any matters initiated by the general public, and those would be items that are not on today's agenda. If anybody has anything, please come forward.
Andrea Traphagen, Ravendale, California. One of the questions I have, well, not questions, but things that I'm kind of concerned about with this situation with the containers. The building process, the whole process for putting up a storage and having it on your property is so hard that people have gone to this, you know, as their last resource, as you know, for this area. And the other thing is for the oh gosh, my brain just got quiet. When you charge for permit fees, cottage license, use permits, any type of permit to the general public, you cannot make money on the public. And one of the things that you cannot, that you have to prove and you have to show is that you justify that permit price. So when I come in and I say, okay, I'm going to go ahead and file a use permit, then you have to be able to justify those fees. That is part of the Supreme Court action, is that each county has to justify. They don't get to just say, this is the fee. And that's why a lot of the counties surrounding us have not moved forward, because they understand that. And I've talked to Tanessa Audette, and I was asking her those questions, and she said that's the number one reason why we're not seeing the other counties move and act, because they don't know legally what that means, and so they don't want themselves in trouble. So we're raising fees. We're stopping business as usual, and it's really hard on somebody who's starting a business and trying to get going, that by, you know, before you even, you know, make a dollar, you've put out for your own infrastructure, and then you are trying to navigate a process that is very convoluted. We don't have a standard operating procedure for anything. When you go up, there's nothing like, here's your process. Nothing is made easy, not one part of it. And in fact, most people are so discouraged they stop. And the reason why we do not see anyone starting anything in our county or doing anything is because the first roadblock is the building and planning. And it's so hard. And every time that you walk in there, there's no real direction. And the direction you get is almost, you know, insanely, you can't understand it. And you can't figure it out. And then you have to hire someone. So I had to hire a architect just so we could understand the process. And so $14,700 has to come out of my pocket so I can navigate just the beginnings of working through our county. And that doesn't count for all the infrastructure that has to go in. That doesn't count for how much time I deal with the government. I spend over half my time dealing with the government. The government should be the least of my worries. This commission needs to help people move forward. We need to make the process easy. And this whole point of our county being able to come in here and navigate this process in a manner that we can understand is not even acknowledged anymore. We don't do that. It's how hard can I make it? And then most people quit. And I'll tell you what, I almost quit making flour. I almost quit. I almost said to heck with it. It was too much, you know, just the fight. And so not many people will stick it out. But you need to start understanding that Department of Building and Planning is the stop gate for business. It is what hinders any movement, any growth. And I think it needs to be addressed. Every thing that happens in that department should have a standard operating procedure. You should justify, now you legally have to justify all those permit fees. And you can talk to county council. She's going to tell you that's what she has to do. If she hasn't already, she doesn't know, she needs to look it up. But these things are true. It's not just figment of people's imagination. How many projects do you have? How many people are climbing in here to build something, get something going? Nobody. You don't have anyone here. You should be having to turn people away. Instead, no one's doing anything. It's too hard. So anyway, we need to restore the trying people, and I think it starts with you. Thank you.
Thanks, Andrea. I wonder if maybe this is something that you might want to take up with the supervisors, because they're the ones that set policy. We're the ones that obviously look at projects and so forth and all that, but to me, I would think going to the supervisors with your concerns might cause them to maybe see something happen differently.
I have,
Okay.
that's why I'm here.
Yeah, and I appreciate
Thank
that.
you.
I appreciate that very much.
Well, don't stop, cause the squeaky wheel gets the grease. So I said, don't give up. We hear you, and believe you, everybody that's sitting up here, we all want the process to be easier as well. Unfortunately, we don't write the policy. We just, we try like heck to approve every project that comes to us because we want the same things you want. We want this county to be awesome. And so don't stop doing what you're doing, because sooner or later, that change will be made, and hopefully it benefits somebody down the road that another person has an easier process than what you have.
It's the only reason why I stay.
Yeah, you're here. Okay, anybody else? No? Okay.
Okay, me? Okay, sorry.
Oh,
I'm sorry. Hi,
hi.
Angie Boston with the Lassen County Republican Assembly. And this is, I hope it's okay to discuss this. This is regarding the contract between Kimley Horn and the county. Okay, and I'm not gonna go into certain particulars except for the community engagement portion. Now, this whole contract was $3,245. The community engagement was $91,840. Just the community meetings itself was $44,200. Okay, so the contractor, which is Kimley Horn, was supposed to notify the community. And they were supposed to send flyers and postcards and stuff, which I believe they did in the affecting communities. However, it states in the contract that they will prepare a copy for a radio advertisement for county staff's approval. In conjunction with county staff, contractor will prepare a radio advertisement of the workshops for broadcast on 93 JDX and 1240 KSUE. That was not done. And that's in the contract that they are required to do that. So the community was not informed. Okay, no advertisement was done. Kimley Horn admitted in the Jensen Hall meeting that they failed to do that, but they'd do it next time. Well, there's no next time clause in the contract.
Hey, Angie?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I'm like way behind here. What is this pertaining to?
Well, it's the contract that I believe went through this board, and then it went on to the Board of Supervisors.
For what?
For what? This is, oh, I'm sorry, it's for the area planning.
Oh, okay.
The area plan. I'm sorry, I should have said that. I just said the Kimley Horn, so it is with the area planning.
Okay.
And so I'm just pointing out things that have failed to be done.
So there just wasn't, you don't think the advertisement that should have been?
There wasn't, and it's part of the contract, so they broke the contract.
So the public would understand when the meeting.
Correct.
Okay.
So they failed to notify the community of that. So I don't know if it was Kimley Horn who failed or if it was the county who failed. Because on the radio advertisement spot, Kimley Horn was supposed to get with someone in the county. And I don't know if it was this department. I don't know who has oversight of Kimley Horn. But that was a failure, and so that's part of the contract that has been broken. Okay, and then in the first workshop, which was the meetings that happened on January 28th, 29th, and 30th, Kimley Horn was supposed to provide a summary of the current community plans and the county's current general plan, as well as the recent county general plan safety element to provide a baseline for discussion with the community. They failed to do that. So every meeting, and we've had LCRA members at every single meeting, people left with more questions and didn't know what the heck was going on. So they did not provide a baseline for discussion. They're charging almost $92,000 for communication with the community, and they failed to do it big time. Okay, so then they're supposed to, it continues. Now the contractor, they're going to do another workshop. That second workshop is going to be after the administrative draft community plan, and that's going to focus on the findings and the investigation of the community elements that they obtained. Okay, according to the A1.11 area plan proposed schedule, by February 28th, a few days ago, they were supposed to have completed a community engagement report. So have you guys, I don't know if you've received that yet, but I'm formally requesting a copy of that report. They said they were going to have it done. So this is a formal request for that. Also, there is, if you look on their proposed schedule and timeline, there isn't a second meeting with Kimley Horn for the community. And with $92,000 for community engagement, I think there should be a little bit more. So I think this is a horrible idea. Maybe things aren't going as well. Also, after agreeing to $873,245 on the area plan, I'm kind of wondering what the net outcome, what the revenue is it going to be? What bang for a buck are we going to get out of this? You know, so you know, that's just a big concern.
Yeah, Angie, hang on real quick. So do either you, Lori, or wanna kind of?
No, in fact, we can't. This is public comment. This is not a dialogue. This is an unagendized thing. This is for her to comment and for you guys to listen.
Okay, and finally, I know the last thing is that it is totally fine, and it says in section D.131 that the county or the contractor at any time can cancel this. So I don't know if maybe focus should be on the 2012 program, that plan that was sent out. I don't know, I haven't studied that yet. But I think right now it's on a rocky start for a lot of dang money. And to me, as part of the county and a taxpayer, this contract is a contract between Kimley Horn and me. And they broke it. They broke that contract so far, and we're only getting started.
And are you suggesting the county broke the contract?
I'm suggesting somebody did. I didn't know who. So far, there are 2 items specifically that have not happened and should have happened, and they failed. And one of them is big and huge of giving information to the community, and they failed to do that. So I don't know if the county failed, if they dropped the ball, if Kimley Horn provided that radio spot advertisement, or if Kimley Horn never did it. But it doesn't matter to me. I'm a taxpayer, and when you have a contract with the county, you're having a contract with the people, right? And I'm just thinking, whoa, it's already been broken. So those are my concerns,
Okay,
and I appreciate you listening.
thank you.
Are we supposed to comment at all? Are we allowed or supposed to comment at all? No. Okay.
Okay, anybody else? All right, so we are now going to go to our next resolution, adoption 30125. Is there somebody from?
Yep. Mindy, you're up.
Before I begin, is there anyone from the public that would like a copy of the utility district transmission path for Wendell that Elmwood supplied?
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I'll leave it here. Good afternoon, Commissioners, Chair. My name is Mindy Hilton, Associate Planner for Lassen County. Today I present for your consideration of a finding of consistency with the general plan, a proposed LMUD substation in Wendell, and 2.4 or approximately 2.4 miles of above ground transmission line in Wendell as well. As required by Lassen County Code 108-10220 subsection D1, LMUD has asked the Planning Commission to review the substation and transmission line for consistency with our general plan. The substation would be on 2 parcels in Wendell owned by LMUD, and the transmission line would be in a combination of LMUD owned property or existing LMUD easements. The Planning Commission can determine whether the proposed substation and transmission line route is consistent with the general plan, and I do believe we have someone from LMUD, Court Cortez, here that might be able to answer any questions, or I might be able to answer any questions that you have.
Okay, so we, opening up the,
Unless you want to hear from Elma during the staff report.
probably, unless there was any concerns, perhaps not.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Mindy.
Thank you.
All right, is there anyone here that would like to speak on behalf of the project? For or against? Doesn't appear so. So then we'll close the public hearing portion, right?
Well, it's not a public hearing.
Not public hearing, but
Close the public comment portion.
public comment. Okay. All right, so then, any questions or concerns from the commissioners?
So in this, it just says that the county, is gonna amend its zoning development ordinance and to clarify the process whereby the transmission lines and pipelines are reviewed and establish applicable fees for such review. Have we already did that, or is that a?
Could you repeat that?
So it's on, I'll make it easy for you, it's on page 3 of 4, in the middle, A. There's quite a few county requirements that I read through this, and I was just curious if we'd already, you know, as the planning part, if you looked at it and said, okay, we're gonna charge them, it's
These are
gonna take us this
policies,
many hours, the fee's gonna be this much,
these are policies and, in the general plan,
okay?
that are listed in the general plan. They're listed there, because they may be relevant to this determination if it's consistent or not.
Okay.
A fee has not been established for a general plan consistency review, if that's what you're asking. We have a new ordinance that we're considering, so we are considering having a fee for general plan consistency determinations, but right now, the Board of Supervisors has not established a fee for a general plan consistency determination.
And I don't believe that we have any input on that, do we? No.
Not on the fee, it would be the Board of
No.
Supervisors.
See, I think people are under the impression that we have a lot more power than we've actually got. We're just ornaments here. Some of us.
Okay, anybody else have any comments?
I have a comment. I look forward to the day when this line is in place, because in court is here in the audience and you can speak better to it than I, but with regard to that power line that would be coming into our system, it would ensure reliability. I don't think they've ever had an outage on that line, and it would be a game changer for Lassen County.
I think to be a lot of us selling generators.
Is that the substation for Nevada Energy? Is that what, yeah?
Yeah, I think this is an excellent project for it and gonna benefit the community immensely and just not having to, I think it was one time in 9 years that line went down was all. And it wasn't for like more than 15 or 20 minutes. And, yeah, I think it's just gonna do nothing but benefit our community in the sense of, like she just said, well, people can start selling generators because if your power's always on,
Yeah.
I think it's a good thing personally.
Yeah. I see. Okay, so, we've closed the public comment, we've discussed it amongst ourselves. I would entertain a motion to approve.
There's a resolution in the packet, so it would be appropriate for someone to make a motion to adopt the resolution that's in the packet, for someone to second that, and then have any discussion and then vote on it.
I make a motion to approve the Lassen Municipal Utility District Substation located in Skedata.
So the
We'll modify that to adopt a resolution instead of approving. We'll adopt a resolution.
Okay. Adopt a resolution.
Resolution
30125.
30125. All right, we have a motion, do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Awesome. Okay, our next item, public hearing.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. My name is Matt Oden, and I'm an Associate Planner with Lassen County. Today I'll be presenting on a proposed ordinance for the consideration of the Planning Commission. The proposed ordinance would amend existing section 18.64.050 area requirement, regulating area requirements for the OS Open Space District of the Lassen County Code. The proposed change would remove a provision which implies that legal parcels cannot be conveyed. Also, as the section is currently written, it is not enforceable, and the intent is simply met by stating that no lot or parcel shall be divided further. The proposed ordinance is exempt from CEQA in accordance with subsection B3 of CEQA guidelines, section 15061. There's also a markup of the text that will be removed, which was included in your packet. The action requested is for the Planning Commission to make a recommendation whether the ordinance should or should not be adopted to the Board of Supervisors. The included resolution is recommending approval. Do you have any questions for me?
You're only taking a couple words out there, right?
Right.
Like,
Yeah, the exact words that are getting taken out are
or separated in any manner?
correct.
Don't know how it got there, but we gotta get it out.
So it isn't divided and separated in any manner, kind of the same thing.
No, you can divide parcels if they meet the minimum parcel size.
Okay.
Yeah.
So separate in any manner would be somebody just deciding to do it on their own and not going through the process. Perhaps.
Or sold separately.
Okay,
I'd like to have an
questions?
example of exactly what this means, I don't get it, sorry.
Well, essentially, if somebody owns open space parcel, this is inferring that you can't legally sell it if it's adjacent to another open space parcel.
Oh,
And
no.
that's just not, something that we can prevent. So, we would never know about it in the first place.
It's not even itself, it's, you're talking about it adjacent to some other, is that what
Right.
you're saying?
Or
Right.
if one person owned a large chunk of open space, and let's say there was 3 legal parcels in it, they couldn't sell one of the legal parcels that was in the open space that they owned, because it was connected to other open space that they owned. So if there's a legal parcel involved, we can't prevent them from selling a legal parcel. So, it's removing that language that implies that we can prevent them from selling a legal parcel if they own multiple open space parcels.
yeah, so if they have contiguous parcels, and
Yeah.
let's say they're all 50-acre parcels, and they want to sell one of them, they can
That's
do
a
it.
that's a legal parcel, they
Legal
can,
parcel.
but the language implies that they can't.
Okay.
So it makes it easier for people to,
To be able to sell a legal parcel.
okay.
It removes language that implies that they can't.
Which we wouldn't become aware of in the process anyway, so. I just would assume that they were trying to address something that is a mystery to this reader at this point, back in the day, so. It's just a cleanup.
Okay. Any other questions for Matt? Okay, thank you, Matt.
Good, thank you.
So we open this to,
Open the public hearing.
public hearing. Okay, public hearing's open. Anybody that'd like to speak on the matter, please come forward. Not seeing anyone, we will go ahead and close the public hearing. Bring it back to the commissioners. Seems like it's just kind of. Mark, anything? Sure.
Good.
Okay, good. Then I would entertain a motion to
There's a resolution in the packet.
approve the resolution.
Adopt a resolution recommending,
John, I make a motion that we adopt resolution number 3-02-25, with the recommendation to the board that they adopt this proposed change.
Okay, thank you, Mark. Is there a second?
A second.
Carol seconds. Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. We're done.
All right. Adjourned?
Adjourned.
So, on the fifth section,
This year?
oh, well, with your restriction.
I'd have to go back to last spring.
Keep that or Chuck?
Sure, go ahead.
No, I mean, I haven't fished since last spring.
Good and bad.
Hey,